Tom, I was watching the Kentucky game last night against LSU. Struggled in the first half, got it done in the second with the 71-66 victory. They're sorely missing Severe Wheeler and Ty Washington. Now, Arkansas's luck, they're probably going to be both rip-roaring and ready to go on Saturday. But your thoughts on how Kentucky's played as of late without those guys and the impact if they're not able to go against the Razorbacks Saturday?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I took it from Jim Calipari's comments to start the week on Monday. It's less likely for them to play than it is likely for them to play. So I think Arkansas is going to have to prepare. I mean, they obviously will be ready if those two are playing. But you watch the first half last night, and you think, okay, LSU has finally found the solution to breaking down, this team without their top 2 point guards. But, Grady and Mintz had a much better second half. I mean, they could not contain Pinson in the first half, and he even got to the rack some in the second. But I think the Razorbacks are going to have to get prepared for Davion Mintz to be all up in J.D. Notae, and he is a great on-ball defender, or a very good on-ball defender. But they have to do things. I think what Eric Musselman's background in the NBA and G League and all that's going to help him come up with a way to disrupt the Kentucky, machine, so to speak. To me, the number one deal in this game is to keep Sheboy and the guy Hopkins who went off last night. Just keep him off the glass. Just hold your own on the defensive glass. Keep Jalen Williams out of foul trouble, and you got a decent shot to beat Kentucky.
Now, you talk about getting to the rim, what Xavier Pinson was able to do last night. You saw that with Devo Davis on Tuesday night. Hopefully he can expand that into Saturday. What's changed with Devontae Davis as of late, Tom?
I guess he's taking better shots or better in rhythm shots. I think there were times when he felt like coming off the bench, sometimes he had to kind of manufacture himself into the offense. And I can't tell you the number of times he rose up for jumpers, with 10, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm like, oh, that's not a good shot. And they didn't go in. But I just feel like he is more a part of the natural flow of the offense. And I think his left corner three-point shooting has been a big deal. He shot it well, and I think he's 2 out of 3 from three-point range in 3 of the last 4 games. I mean, he was rocking along there about 20-something% in the low 20s on three-point shooting until these last about 5 or 6 games, and he shot it so much better. And then what you mentioned with his getting to the hole, to me, that is the single most beneficial difference in the Arkansas offense you've seen in the last couple of games. And really in the last game, when they needed some big baskets late, he was able to get through defenders and get all the way to the hole. And when Arkansas was at its best last year, that part of it was really big and very evident. And he got them numerous big shots getting all the way to the hole. And if he can do that for you, it's a difference maker come tournament time.
Tom, I think about the players that are in state, the Jalen Williams, the Devo Davises of this team that are going to be impact players Saturday. And, while you got J.D. Notae and others that have come in through other means, those guys grew up knowing what hating Kentucky meant. Just like the football team kind of got an education on the Texas game. How do you, if you're Eric Musselman, get the team at the right magic level for Saturday? Because you can't be too high and let your emotions carry you away. And we know it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. It's all about reaching that magic level and the understanding of what this game really means on Saturday.
Yeah, it really is, and not getting too high and low within a game. But I'll say this for them. They've been playing in huge atmospheres in a lot of recent games. I mean, almost all of them. Maybe take away the road game at Missouri where they got on top pretty early. But, hey, in that game, they just kind of maintained their deal and didn't let Missouri back in it. But both the Auburn game and the Tennessee game at home were huge atmospheres where you have to balance your emotions, not get too caught up in the crowd. And then the last road game, that was a huge win for them. So I think they'll be just fine. And I think there's going to be a nice chess game between what Kentucky wants to do and what Arkansas wants to do. And, again, Jerry Tipton of the Lexington paper asked about the matchup between Sheboy and Jalen Williams. And, yeah, you're going to see some of that, much like there was Castleton versus Jalen Williams. But I think help defense, getting different guys. I mean, you got to play Kamani Johnson a few minutes on him, get in there and bang around with the guy. That's going to be a really big part of the game. And, of course, Kentucky's dribble driving. I think they're going to be pretty savvy about knowing that Jalen Williams is going to be at the end of the line, and they're going to try to do dump-offs and get some dunks with Sheboy. So Eric Musselman called that a cat-and-mouse game on his video conference yesterday, and I think that's truly a big part of it.
Selection Sunday is 2 weeks from this Sunday on March the 13th. If Arkansas wins this game or if Arkansas loses this game, how does that change your perception, Tom, on where you may take Arkansas on your bracket? What does Saturday's game mean to you in relation to how good or how far you think this team can go in the postseason, or does it even matter at all in that perspective to you?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I just don't think they fall far out of it's tough to envision them falling far from, say, the 7 line, and the way it looks now is 6 looks a little bit better, and I think 5 is within reach. So if you win it, and say you lose at Tennessee and win at LSU, I don't care what happens in the SEC tournament. I think they're solid into the 6 line.
Yeah, but
now if you lose this game
but beyond seeding, Tom, how confident would this win make you, or a loss change your confidence in where you would put them on your bracket? Not forget about seeding. What would this game do to you for your perception of how far you would take Arkansas in a bracket?
Well, it's a team that's got Tennessee. Kentucky is a team that's got that kind of postseason DNA. Mm-hmm. It's just in its bloodstream, and they know how to play big games down the stretch, road games, and all that. So if Arkansas were to win this one, think about the top-level competition in the SEC, and it's all been in the last couple of weeks. Auburn at home handled business. Tennessee at home, they've got Tennessee again. They went down to a very hungry Florida team and won. And then, they finished up at LSU. So if Arkansas is able to beat Kentucky, they've held their own with the best teams in this conference. Now, granted, all of them have been at home, but they've still got that Tennessee road game to go, and that's going to be a really great game to help prepare them for what the postseason will feel like.
Kentucky's had some preparation walking into Bud Walton on Saturday, going to Lawrence, Kansas for the Big 12 SEC Challenge, came away with a victory in Allen Fieldhouse. I don't think they're going to be intimidated by the presence that Arkansas displays on Saturday, but it's going to be a fun atmosphere nevertheless. Now, Tom, is Bruce Pearl clearly the SEC Coach of the Year? I mean, Muss has done a fantastic job, but, he's pretty locked up that award, hasn't he?
There's probably going to be some guys who branch off from Bruce Pearl, but look, they've got a very talented roster. And when I think about postseason, I think they're such an adaptable team. Their guards get a little bit impatient, and Green and Johnson, in my eyes, try to do a little too much at times. But when they're on, they're just a fantastic team, and I think they're going to be very versatile and adaptable come tournament time. I don't know. Rick Barnes might peel off some votes. And certainly Musselman. I think Arkansas was picked, maybe 5? I can't remember what they were picked in preseason. Third, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, so they're right on track, and Auburn was probably picked below that. So I think it's a good bet Pearl's going to win SEC Coach of the Year.
You're a baseball guy. You like the Atlanta Braves, and we were talking with Drew about this a little bit earlier. I saw Jeff Passan put some stuff out yesterday, ESPN.com baseball reporter. Tom, how frustrated have you been the last couple of days with just what's going on with the MLB and the Players Association?
I would say super frustrated because it's all this big game of theater and it's all about money. And honestly, I look at the headlines. No progress made. I don't read why there wasn't any progress. I don't read what each side has to say about why and who's not giving in. All I want to do is see them play baseball. And this sport, I think above all others, has put its best fans. It has just hurt their fans. Many times over the years. We think back to the '94 strike, and it's just super frustrating. And hey, if we don't have a season, then we'll be World Series champions for longer. So I'm not going to stress one bit about it. It's frustrating, but it doesn't affect my day to day. I'm just mad that there's so much money involved and they can't just come up with a solution.
Yeah, and I think it's a bigger issue that baseball, that more people aren't talking about it, because that tells me what their level of concern and care, Tom. So, I mean, if they're not concerned, I think baseball's got bigger issues, that the fact that no one's, there's not a big fan pushback right now.
That is a great point, that we've gotten so fed up with these work stoppages that people just throw their hands up and say, whatever, you guys work it out. It's not our problem. And it's exactly the way I feel. We'll do something else.
Yeah. All right, Tom Murphy with us, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, enjoy the weekend. Hopefully we can all get out from under this ice and have a big crowd for Arkansas, Kentucky.
That sounds like a plan. You guys have a great weekend.
All right, we'll talk to you on Monday. Tom Murphy with us every Monday and Thursday from Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Well, it might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.